Is Xbox experiencing an identity crisis with the potential rumors that all of its exclusive IPs are going to rival platforms such as PlayStation and Switch? It's been a crazy week, and the Xbox community for the past week has been in shambles. So let's talk about it. Now, first things first, these are all rumors and speculations, and as such, you need to take it with a grain of salt until we actually have official word and confirmation from Microsoft or Xbox. These are just rumors and speculations. In this coming week, either today or within this week, and by the time you're seeing this video, Microsoft could have confirmed or denied these rumors and speculations, but until such a time, guys, it is just that. However, these rumors and speculations have spread like wildfire, man, and there's been a lot of fallout with the Xbox community. So for the past couple of weeks, we've known that Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves were the only potential IPs that were going to come to the PlayStation and Switch platforms. And this was further confirmed with a leaked data mine in Hi-Fi Rush that showed these PlayStation and Nintendo sort of themed t-shirts, and this gave further confirmation that it might be possible. So far, the Xbox community was sort of fine with these because these two games were not Xbox's AAA IPs, right? So everyone was fine with it. But by the start of this week, when it was rumored that Starfield, Xbox's biggest AAA title this generation, was rumored to be coming to PlayStation later this year, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which was just recently revealed by the Xbox Developer Direct, people lost their minds. Holy crap, there was so much fallout. We had Xbox fanboys having complete breakdowns and meltdowns, talking about throwing the Xboxes away, selling it, throwing it in the garbage, burning it and crap like that, which I don't think is true. And we had the PlayStation ponies, which were also celebrating the fact that the, I quote, shitty generational game of Xbox is now coming to their platform. Yeah, how do you like them apples? But anyway, man, this is the equivalent basically of Sony, of PlayStation, saying that the likes of The Last of Us, God of War, or Spider-Man will be coming to Xbox, which would never be the case. So why is Xbox then doing this? Now, the situation got out of hand so much so, and it spread like wildfire, that I feel like the situation currently got away from Xbox themselves. And we did have a response from Phil Spencer, which he tweeted was, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week," which is this week, "where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned." Now, with all the fires that were lit in last week, this tweet was very vague, and three things stand out to me. First of all, it's neither confirmation or denial on whether these rumors or speculations are true or not. So a lot of people are feeling like this is basically them confirming that the rumors are true. And if these leaks and rumors were false, Xbox could have just put an end to these rumors and that by just tweeting out a response denying that they are true. Secondly, it says we've been planning a business update event for next week. Now, when I look at this to me seems like, because the situation got away from them, and if these leaks and rumors are true, this is sort of damage control now for Xbox. They're trying to get ahead of it, even though I think it's a bit too late with all the fires that have been lit. So this week, everyone is waiting with bated breath until we actually hear something. And then the next thing that stood out to me is where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. This highlights to me that there has been a shift in strategy, that something has changed, something in the strategy, something in the structure of the strategy has changed. Now, we've seen also some leaks that Xbox Game Pass has gone through a sort of relabeling. It's now known as Microsoft Game Pass and no longer Xbox Game Pass. This also hints to the fact that they might be completely doing away with the Xbox. It really looks crazy. To now the point where some people are speculating that all these rumors and speculations are false and they've been fabricated. The thing is, we just don't know what is true or not, and we have to wait for Xbox and Microsoft to actually come out and confirm this. But where it really gets me is where it was rumored as well that not only is Starfield and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle potentially coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch, but also the fact that legacy IPs such as Halo and Gears of War are also being considered to be ported over to the rival console, which is insane. It blows my mind, because when you look at an Xbox, what do you think of? You think of Halo and Gears of War. These are the two IPs that is associated with the Xbox brand. As it is reported, if even a month ago you talked about major Xbox exclusives like Starfield and the newly announced Indiana Jones and the Great Circle going multi-platform, you would have dismissed it as an obvious thrill, but it increasingly looks like exactly that is what is about to happen. Rumors emerged on Sunday that both games will be coming to PlayStation 5, and now Gears of War has been added to the list, and possibly even Halo. Jeff Grubb is usually reliable though, and not only does he corroborate talk of the other games, but according to him, the other one that I've heard that's definitely under consideration is Gears of War. Wow. Grubb emphasized that no final decision has been made yet, which in turn implies that Microsoft is not making all games multi-format as a matter of course, but still on a case-by-case basis. Now listen, when Xbox acquired Bethesda and ZeniMax, they said that not all games will be exclusive, it will be on a case-by-case basis, right? Fine, because there were still existing contracts in place with PlayStation, like adhere to those promises made and to the terms of those contracts. But when you're talking about IPs that Xbox is associated with, brands that are associated with the Xbox brands, IPs that when people look at the Xbox, they think of these IPs, you're watering down the Xbox brand itself. The article goes further on to say the only thing unusual about suggesting Gears of War, other than it being one of Xbox's crown jewels exactly, is that no new game is currently announced despite constant rumors about some kind of remaster collection. For Gears of War and for Halo to go over, to me it waters down the brand and the good faith that Xbox has built up with the Xbox brand to date, and yes, for the several years or so, Xbox has been trying to get back into the good graces of the community, and for those people that stood by Xbox day in and day out through all the bad years of having no games, having not great exclusives and that, to the point where they're now actually going to get those games and then turn around your strategy to a complete 360 is a slap in the face of those consumers that remained loyal. Now the article goes further on to say, in terms of Halo, the hints of a PlayStation 5 release come from a job ad at developer 343 Industries, first noticed by website GameVro. The ad for a lead game system designer asks for someone that can create a high-quality, cohesive experience for all players on all platforms. Now, when they say all platforms, right, that could be like your TVs, your PCs, your handheld, your cell phone, all those things, because that is the strategy that Xbox was going towards, is to have Game Pass on all the platforms. But if you're talking about now including the rival platforms into that conversation, man, it's just crazy, man. Honestly, it's just crazy. The article goes on to say that is a strange phrase to use in a job ad for the Xbox's most famous exclusive, but while under normal circumstances it might be assumed to just mean Xbox and PC, in the current climate it's easy to imagine it referring to PlayStation 5 as well, especially as job ads are notorious for revealing details that have not been made public elsewhere. Until Phil Spencer is able to clarify things next week, in theory anything is possible, as Xbox prepares to announce changes that may well end up as a milestone event for the whole games industry. Exactly. This would change the entire landscape of the gaming industry, and that is why it's such a big deal whether or not Xbox is completely doing away with the hardware and just going completely software focused, which we always knew was the case. We never knew the fact that they were going to remove exclusivity from their brand, and that is what is the game changer. Now, there is two conversations that are happening currently here, and I'm sort of on the fence of both of them. Firstly, is that by removing exclusivity and making the games more widely available, even on the rival platforms, that you as the gamer, you win because you have more games to play. You have more access to games that are not locked behind a certain platform. But the problem here is PlayStation is not making their games available on the Xbox console. So, like Paul Tassi says, for starters, it would make the premise of buying an Xbox for Microsoft's promised big lineup of exclusive relatively pointless, and players who have already bought into that ecosystem based on Microsoft's stated plans about big future games understandably upset as a result. Exactly, that's why I said for those that bought into the promises made by Microsoft and Xbox that they were going to get these exclusive games with all these acquisitions of these studios, and now to do a complete 360 on that promises made and with plans that they set out is a slap in the faces of the people that bought into the ecosystem and are waiting for these games to actually release, and now all of a sudden they are available on the rival platform. So why buy an Xbox for Game Pass when you can buy a PlayStation and now get PlayStation and Xbox games? Exactly, because PlayStation is not moving the exclusives over to the Xbox console. Yes, even though PC players do get the exclusive games like like after a year or two, but for that year or two are still on lockdown on that particular platform. So PlayStation is not going to, or they're not about to release the exclusive onto the Xbox console because that is their bread and butter. That is what sells the consoles. Well, Tessie goes further on to say, and in terms of Microsoft's goals for Game Pass, how does this further that? Presumably something like Starfield is just going to be offered for sale for $70 on PlayStation. Exactly. So this does nothing to increase Game Pass subscriptions, only to give less reasons to buy an Xbox in the first place. Exactly. It also signals that perhaps Game Pass is not quite as healthy as Microsoft lets on, and to justify the enormous development cost of a game like Starfield or Indiana Jones, it turns out that you do need to sell it for $70 to some amount of people outside of the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem. This specifically makes Starfield feel like a failure that needs extra juice from a direct rival, or a lack of confidence Indiana Jones will pull its weight without a wider release. Exactly. Now, Xbox has been known not to share its sales numbers and things like that, right? They're all about the number of concurrent players. So, based on that, Starfield was a huge hit for them. Starfield was the biggest release for Bethesda. It was the biggest release for Bethesda with, what was it, 20 million concurrent players or something. And here's the thing, Xbox Game Pass is the best value for gaming, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's the best value for gaming. Let me tell you why I bought an Xbox console. As an adult that has to pay a mortgage bond, that has to pay a car, has to pay a car off monthly, has to make sure there's groceries in the house, make sure the water bill and all that things are paid, make sure my family's looked after. I do not have $70 every month to splurge on a game every single month. And that is where Game Pass looked more economical to my pocket, and this is how a lot of people actually see it. Now I know some people will come in the comments, oh, you just broke or whatever. Come on now, really, I'm just an average gamer, and this is a lot of consumers these days. They don't have the money to splurge on a $70 game every single month, and games are just increasing more and more. So that is why an Xbox looks appealing, because it gives you the best bang for buck when it comes to gaming. But by removing the exclusivity from that brand, from the Xbox brand, and from the Game Pass ecosystem, you're then removing the only incentive as to why you would buy an Xbox. That's the problem there. Now when we go to the next argument, is that, and this is where I agree with Skill Up, that exclusive titles to these publishers and developers, like first-party titles such as Halo and Gears of War, they are necessary. Why? Because when you look at PlayStation and Xbox, they are competitors in the console market and when it comes to games, right? If Xbox removes the exclusivity, they're removing the incentive and the purpose to why you want to buy an Xbox when you can then play the games on PlayStation, like we just covered earlier. So then there's no competition. This will then make this will enable PlayStation to then monopolize the console market. There are already rumors, I believe, that the PlayStation 5 Pro will be selling for $750 to $850. That is insane. And they will be able to do that if they have no direct competition from Xbox. You get what I'm saying? Also, first-party exclusives pushes competition between these developers and publishers to keep on pushing better quality of gaming, to keep on pushing for innovation in gaming. I mean, look at PlayStation's exclusive. They're quality games. It's pushing Microsoft to push out more exclusives. Look at this year. We've got Hellblade, Senua Saga 2. We've got Indiana Jones. We've got Avowed. Last year we had Fallout, even though it sucked. We had Starfield. Not a lot of people liked it. Forza Motorsport. They're pushing out more exclusives to actually compete with PlayStation. So the competition is good for the gamers as well. And if you remove that competition, the other one could possibly monopolize the console and the games. There's already rumors as well that PlayStation wants to release the games in patches, some sort, chapters or whatever. I mean, that's crazy. And still charge a full price for each chapter or something like that. That's just crazy. That's why I think the competition is good. Now, here's what I think Xbox should do. First of all, they've acquired all these studios. Now, let's not talk about division, because we know that Activision is going to stay multi-platform, and like I said before, Microsoft will be stupid to make Call of Duty exclusive, because most of the players are on PlayStation and that is where the money is. Now, are they trying to adopt the same framework with all of their games there? It seems to be the case, but I don't think they need to do that, because Call of Duty would be their money maker alone if they still keep that multi-platform. Now, what I think Xbox should do is, like Phil Spencer said in that interview a couple of months last year, when he basically admitted defeat, saying that they're in third place and that even if Starfield was an 11 out of 10, it would not be a console seller. Now, I tend to disagree, because why do people buy consoles? Because of the exclusive games. Now, Xbox lost the last generation, because why PlayStation 4 was building their digital library. Look at games like now, they PlayStation Go, Spider-Man 3, God of War 3, they have a library that they built upon in which they can reach and make sequels and push out IPs, So people associate good quality games with PlayStation. Xbox, that wasn't the case with Xbox in the last generation, but it is now. And it's going to take time. And this is what Xbox needs to realize, that everything takes time. Yes, Starfield was the biggest generational game for this generation, but it wasn't well received by all critics. Okay, fine. But there were people that actually went and bought an Xbox just to play that game because it was on Xbox Game Pass. Now you have another 4 exclusive releasing this year. And this is what I said when I did a video a couple of months ago where I said that Xbox has an IP problem. And this video was sort of trying to revisit that topic. Xbox does not have an IP problem now. They are building their digital library now, but that digital library is going to take time, and they need to invest the time now in those games. They need to put the time and faith in those games and let the developers do their thing, and they need to exercise quality control, because what they do have now is a quality control issue. Look at the state of Redfall, the state of Forza Motorsport, the state of Starfield. They have a quality control issue now. They have the developers, the studios, they need to exercise a better degree of control to ensure that the games release with all features, that the games release to high critical scores. And as they do that, as the years goes on and they release banger after banger, guess what? People are going to associate good games with Xbox as well, and it's going to sell consoles. So if Xbox is trying the whole strategy of making everything multi-platform, I sort of think they sort of have an identity crisis. They're worried about profits currently, because at the end of the day, they're a corporation. They're worried about profits. If they dissolve the entire hardware and go software, they're already removing, it seems like they're already removing the Xbox brand, and it's just going to be Microsoft. They sort of have an identity crisis going on. And until we get confirmation within this week from Phil Spencer or Xbox or whoever, it's already rumored that Microsoft will be doing the presentation this week and not Xbox. So there's somewhere a shift, and the thing is, are they entirely giving up on Xbox or what? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and find out. But let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Do you think Xbox is going through an identity crisis? Do you agree with me that they should give these studios time and they should exercise a better degree of quality control to ensure that they release banger after banger, and then the Xbox brand will be associated with good games? Let me know in your comments down below. Or are you happy with the games just being on PlayStation and getting a PlayStation and having the best of both worlds? As always, guys, I appreciate the support. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video. Rampage out. Peace.